Good morning, everyone, and thank you for asking me to make this questionnaire. I'm welcome to do this one in order to inspire people and in order to give some information about myself and my career. So the first question was, how old did I start dancing, and why did I start dancing? Well, I started dancing when I was about 8, actually, and I started dancing because of my parents. My parents did some social dancing and some little competition in agonism time, but not so much. But anyway, when I was about 7, my parents already started to do this, what we call in Italy, liscio. So my mom and my father went to take lessons at nearby my city, a small town nearby my city. And there was a teacher of liscio, and my parents started to dance liscio. Of course, when my parents was doing leisure, were doing the lessons or the practice, I was always following them. So as soon as we get home, I was always, like, for example, my parents was eating in the table, and I was starting to do the same things they were doing. I was dancing around the table. I was showing them how to dance this liscio ballroom type of dancing. So my parents suddenly they decide, why not? Let's see if I'm gonna be able to dance. So they take me to have lessons. I was about I think I was around 7.5 or 8, and the first partner that they find me was a partner that nobody know, because actually I danced with her only few days. So it was a small girl that was in the same town, and that's how everything started. Even I didn't continue so much with this girl. I still follow my parents around, and I was trying to do exactly the same they were doing all the time, until at the age of 9, actually, I find my first real partner. And my first real partner was Loredana Viziello, and with her, actually, we start. Loredana Viziello was quite far, actually, from my town. We were about half an hour away, and that's how everything started. So my parents was my first idol. They were doing this ballroom dancing, and then after that one, my parents actually stopped dancing competition and stopped dancing, because I was taking pretty much all the time and all the money that was needed for the dancing. So this is how I started. Actually, I can say at 9 years old, I started to dance. So this was the first question. The second question is, from all the fantastic teachers I had, which one inspired me the most? The first teachers that actually inspired me the most was actually my first teachers. So Alberto Pregnolato and Evelina Gobbo was my first teachers, and they follow me up until I was approximately 19 years old. So they are pretty much my second father and mother, and I get the most out of them. We did all the Italian championship together when I was young, from junior to youth, and so on, so on. So this one was my first inspiration teachers, and the one that inspired me the most. The one that I get out of all of the teachers that I have, definitely it's Hans Galke. I believe is the teachers that I get the most, also because we follow him since I was probably 18. So as soon as I remember Hans Galke retired from the competition, he was starting to come to the studio of Pregnolato Alberto and Evelina. So we were there and taking lessons very often. and every month he was coming into the studio, and every month I was taking quite a lot of lessons. So Hans Galke and Bianca following up, so that one, these two are my main coach, I believe. And then of course all the other one, Barbara McCall, I think it was my main mentor, so I think she was the one that helped me a lot, okay, and many other ones. So yes, this is probably the three that I probably can say that they were my main teachers and inspired me the most. Third question is about results. Which results I was more happy to achieve? Well, probably the first biggest finals of my amateur career. I think that one was the most important. I was in the final of the amateur at the Royal Albert Hall. That's why also I decided to retire at the Royal Albert Hall, because I think that was my first final in the amateur, and that was my last finals in the professional. So the two category that was the most important, and but definitely after that one I didn't make the final anymore. It take a lot of years more to get again in the final. But then when I won Blackpool as an amateur, I think that one was fantastic, and follows up with the World Championship of WDSF, IDSF in that time in Vilnius in 2007. So 2007 was the final in the winning of amateur Latin and the winning of the World Championship in IDSF. This one was for me probably the most important results that I have achieved. Which partner did I like the most? Well, it's difficult to say. All three were fantastic. It's really difficult in the time. Each time of my career, all of them were for me the best. So with the first one, Loredana Viziello, we achieved the final in the world, the final in Blackpool under 21, and that one was very good for that time. And then with Melinda Turek George, we achieved to winning the world and the Blackpool amateur. And of course, the last one, not the least one, was Andrea Vadilaite, that I think she was amazing, and still now we have a great connection. So it's very difficult for me to say. This was my three partner and three fantastic experience with all three of them. The next question is about my the last final that I did together with Andrea Vadilaite. It was in the Royal Albert Hall, actually my retired competition. And the question is, how did I felt in that paso doble, because probably everybody felt that was one of the best performance I did, I hope. Well, all the competition was a very, not difficult, but very touchy competition. So and before we went to the floor, because you know that the final in the international, there is one dance ballroom, one dance Latin. So before got to the final paso, we were, me and Andrea, watching each other and said, let's do this one as the best we can. So for me, the last paso, as I also think the paso was one of my best dance, and I really like the paso in general as a dance. I really take all my my energy, all my thought, all my commitment to it, and yes, I think it was a good experience, and I think people felt how good it was. And yeah, we were crying in every round in that competition, so it was a very touchy competition. What did I miss the most from the dance competition? Well, you always miss everything. I mean, that period of time is an amazing period of time. it doesn't last forever. So for me, dancing was my life. Dancing was competition was inspiring to improve and make it better, to be able to commit and achieve the best out of your body. And of course, that one I miss it. Most of all, actually, I miss some practice. That was amazing how we discover new things and we actually develop old things. And then of course the shows, when we did the shows, was very fun. The way how we use the music, the choreography, the anything, all the ideas that came out. I think some of the ideas that we did was amazing. So I really like the show. I like the atmosphere of the show, and I like the way it came out. So I think that one was an amazing experience, and of course that one I miss it because now I'm not able to do it. None of it, because of course my partner now is dancing with Nino Langella, and happy for them. They enjoy, they're doing it well, but of course I can't practice that one like many other probably couple can do it after retirement. They can still do some shows, they can still do some practice for a long time. So that one is the one that I miss the most. Next question is about me being a good teacher and a good coach and a good judge around the world. Well, thank you for that. Yes, I'm doing good, and I see a lot of couple are inspired by my lessons, and I really put all my my thought in it, and I really try to commit to the best. And the men side depend. I think there is not really how important is the man or the woman. Behind a good man there is a good woman, and behind a good woman there is a good man. Definitely it's a man's world in one way, because of course men's can it's the one that lead, so automatically if the lead is good, the woman is more likely to be good. Where the man is not leading good, of course is going to be a trouble and can make also a good woman looking bad. So I think that's the reason, the way how everything start from the man, or supposed to start from the man lead. And I think that's why it's extremely important for the man to be precise and to be aware about the woman and protect the woman and lead her in a good way. So I think it's extremely important for the man to be good, and the woman, of course, when they get a good lead and they are a good woman, they of course become amazing. So I think definitely men's is the one that initiate everything, or supposed to initiate everything, as it is the rules in the Latin American dance world. So I think that's why it's very important to be extremely good if you want that your woman is extremely good. So 3 elements, if I have to choose between technique and artistry that are the most important. Well, timing of foot, timing of body, and timing together. That one is the first most important things for me. Second most important is definitely leading. Leading is to me extremely important to understand how to lead. Of course, if you dance together, otherwise if you have side by side only, it's not very important. And then of course understanding and chemistry between the couple. I think understanding of the message that the dance is supposed to have, and the right interpretation of each single dance that we have. So 5 dances, we need to have a different interpretation, and the chemistry between the two that create the same story in the dancing. So definitely these 3 elements is probably the 3 elements that I would like to choose. If I have to choose, put another one on the 4th, I would take definitely posture. So 3 or 4. I give you 4 for you. Well, the next session is, yes, I'm Italian, and I know it. I actually been always Italian. Even I was going to live up and down from Hungary, up and down from England, up and down from Canada, and now I'm living in Spain. I'm still full Italian, and I think for the Italian couple and dancer that are in Italy, first of all, you have to stop thinking about politics. I think in Italy has been an abuse of this idea. Working harder, I think that is another thing. Your life is too comfortable, and many times you don't want to work harder. Many people are clever and use the clever as an excuse not to work hard in the body. Unfortunately, dancing is still about a lot of body knowledge, body activity. You need to have commitment and energy, and I think many times people doesn't really pay attention of that. Or some people are clever but don't want to use their own brain by using only body, okay, only physical activity instead of put some thought, knowledge, and then put the energy. So first of all, you need to have the knowledge and try to make sure you do the right things, and then you can put the energy. Otherwise, it's wasting of energy and it's gonna look bad. Last question obviously is about this specific moment of time, the coronavirus, and everybody stuck home. Well, it's a period of time. It's an incredible period of time for everyone. Actually, I don't think it happened very often that everybody is forced to stay home and not move nowhere. But in the same time, there is a lot of time to think about and thought, and you can actually have time to study a little bit more mentally what you want to achieve. So I think if you watch it in a positive way, it gives you time, and time is one of the most important, priceless things in the world. Time to reflect, time to come out with new things, time to write down what you're gonna achieve, what you want to achieve, visualize your dancing, visualize your goal. So I think it's a great time for you to do this one, because usually in our life we are running like crazy. Me myself also, I find that this period of time that I'm home, I find it fantastic. I would say let's continue for another few months, because I actually have time to stay with my family, I have time to study, I have time to go through a lot of different things, videos, lectures, ideas, and then I think it's quite important for you to do that one the same. I think when you come back, then your desire of dancing and improving is going to be bigger. Keep your body working out a little bit. Don't give up in your body. So just make some workouts, some stretching, and some small activity in dancing. So that one is what I think is gonna be in general the world. As soon as everything is back to normal, I hope everything is gonna be back to normal. As soon as the economy is gonna go up, everything is gonna be back. So now Benjamin, my son, is calling me. As you can hear, he's screaming, so better for me to go. Thank you very much to everybody that are listening this video. Thank you to give me the opportunity to give this one. Bye bye, stay well, stay home, stay healthy. Bye.